Hello class. Today we're on Chapter 10, Lesson 2, Analyzing Scatter Plots. When you graph data on a scatter plot, the scatter plot may show important features about the data. The scatter plot below shows two features that the data may have. So clustering, the data points are grouped closely together. Outliers, one data point is far away from the other. So here's the cluster, here's the outlier. So we're going to make a scatter chart or show you a scatter chart that's been made from the data on the left. And then using the scatter plot, we're going to identify clustering and outliers in the data. So this was the data that was given to us. So 5 years, we're looking at tree age and height. After 5 years, this tree was 42 feet tall. So here's 5 years, 42 feet tall, probably this one. 4 years, 12 feet tall. Ooh, that one was little compared to the other one. So anyway, we went through, graphed all these. This is what you would come up with. These are clusters. They're clustered together. But then if we look at the 4 and 12, that's not part of the cluster. That one's very far away from the cluster. So that's an outlier. And then this one, age 8 years. Whew, this is a fast-growing tree. And looks like it was like 98 feet tall. Yep. Oh, 7 years, sorry. 7 years, 98 feet tall. That one also is an outlier. So if we were to write this down, we would do, oops, wrong thing there. So the clustering was, if we were to say, put this in words, that the data points are closely together between the ages 3 and 6, and the height 37 feet and 49 feet. And the outliers, the 2 points of the outliers, are 4 and 12 and 7 and 98. Those are the outliers. Okay. So what we would like now is you to make a scatter plot for the data in the table, identify clustering and outliers. I'll give you a minute, try to come up with your scatter plot, and then see if it looks like mine. Okay, so you should have got a cluster where right here. So ages 11 to 15, and then 9.5 to 13.5 was the finishing time. And then outliers are going to be 12 and 6.5. Right, so this is like when we're graphing, X goes first, Y goes second. So the horizontal always goes first. And then the other outlier is 14, 18. So now looking, scatter plots show below types of association data sets may have. So anytime a set of values increases, the other tends to increase. So if they're both going that direction, right, as it goes over, it also goes up, then that is a positive association. If as it goes over, it goes down, that is a negative association. And this last one has plots every which way, so therefore there is no association. So now if we took this chart that shows the time spent studying and grade earned. So spent 2 hours and 2.5 hours of time, got a 93. So here we are, time spent and grade earned. So we took these numbers and put them into a scatter plot. And so based on this, right, we can identify what type of association does this chart show. So really, right, as it goes up, the amount of time studying goes up. For the most part, so does the grade earned. Therefore, this is a positive association. A positive association, right? As this goes up, so does this. So now let's look at linear associations. So we have two scatter plots right here. And these were the numbers that were then put into the chart. So if you look, right, it looks like a positive association, but then all of a sudden it drops. So if it does not continue, it is called a non-linear association. This one, however, right, this comes off, but it still is always a downward trend. So this is considered a linear association. Okay, so we have non-linear associations, linear associations. So let's have you go ahead and try this one on your own. Make a scatter plot of the data and tell whether the data shows a linear association or a non-linear association. Create that chart, tell me what you think, come back when you're done. Okay, so your chart should look something similar to this. So as we're looking at this, right, 0, 3, and then drop down to 1, 2.5. So there's kind of a dip there. So it's not always making progress. So when we look at this, it doesn't have enough, because really the one dipped down, it's considered non-linear. A little bit tricky. And I do want to just talk about creating my chart, right? You might say, how did you come up with what numbers that you were going to use for your chart here? And I just looked, okay, I need to for sure to have a 55 because that's the highest, and I don't have too many, so I'm just going to count by 5s. But it's up to you. There's no right or wrong in the chart. The chart that they showed in the book were groups of 10s, so it was even tighter. So completely up to you. And same, you know, for this way, I just thought, oh, I already have 10 there. I'll just do by 1s for that. So your homework for tonight is page 337, numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. Happy homeworking!